We want to salute the courage of this family in standing up to Chase Bank. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand up to Chase Bank. It takes a lot of courage to let people assemble in front of your doorway and say no. This is a great family here and what they're doing. They're allowing us to organize our resistance and our movement in front of their home. So we want to say to Chase Bank that as these days come forward and as foreclosures go on and evictions go on, that they are going to meet resistance wherever they go. It's not going to be easy. It's going to get harder and harder and harder to do this until they are forced to stop. Now in this case, Chase Bank says that they were willing to sell to the family, and the family said they were willing to buy. There is no reason whatsoever for this eviction. There is no reason, even from the bank's point of view, for this eviction. No reason. This, again, is a crime. In Boston, we do something where we say 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. And then you know we say why should Chase evict when they could easily negotiate a solution? So we say 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our doors. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more marshals at our door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't evict, negotiate. All right, you guys are good.
Y'all, I'm Tony Romano from the Right to the City National Alliance, and I'm here to say, y'all know this resistance is not just happening in Washington, D.C., it's happening across this land. Right to the City, Occupy, take back the land. Folks are fighting all over. We got folks in Miami fighting evictions and foreclosures, folks in L.A., folks in New York, folks all over this land. And we want to be very clear. We know what's going on here. It's about the greed of the banks and capital. They want profit. And to get that profit, they will deny us our basic human rights. One of those human rights is the right to housing. Every person has a right to housing. And housing, as a human right, should not be a commodity that's bought and sold for profit. We believe every person has a right to a house, and the banks and the speculators need to take their hands off it. And who should control housing? The people. It should be community control. And let me tell you something. The housing crisis is not its own crisis. It's tied to the overall economic crisis. And when you talk to people who are being thrown out of their homes, most of them are unemployed and underemployed. So when we fight for rights, we're fighting for comprehensive rights. And the right to housing must go hand in hand with the right to full employment. Everyone has a right to a job. Everyone has a right to an income, to live a life with full dignity. And that is part of our key fight, a right to housing and a right to full employment. So thank y'all for coming out, and let's continue the fight. And let's end with the little chant here. What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back! What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back! What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back! What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back! What do we do when the banks attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do when the banks attack?
Stand up, fight back.
I can't hear you.
Stand up, fight back.
A little louder.
Stand up, fight back.
One more time.
Stand up, fight back.
Woo!
That new cop car. You see that? Which one? That one? No, the one that's like the sort of the plain clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.